I just have to go back to what you said. You said that the clip was altered. You showed Canadians something that never happened. And you're telling me now that there was no intent to misinform Canadians, and that the reason for that altering of a clip was because it had to be cut down for time. So the words that were cut out were carbon tax election. Okay, now I just timed myself. That took about 1.2 seconds. So you're telling me that there was no intent to misinform Canadians and they had to cut this down for length, and that it would be understood that the quote from the Conservative leader was about a carbon tax election, even though you removed the words carbon tax election. Can you understand how we're having a very difficult time accepting that?
So I want to be clear. What I indicated was that was the explanation offered by the individual involved. That was not my explanation as to what transpired.
Do you accept that? Or do you believe it was deliberately done to mislead Canadians?
I do not believe that it was deliberately done. But
okay,
still, there was a violation of our editorial standards. So these two individuals are no longer part of it.
Do you accept the explanation that was given to you?
We have made a decision that due to the violation of our editorial standards, that these individuals are no longer part of CTV News.
So what do you believe the motive was?
It is not for me to determine what the motive was.
Okay. All right. CTV News is a division of Bell Canada, is that correct?
It is.
Bell Canada makes about $2.3 billion in profit based on 2023 numbers. Is that about correct? Would you agree with that?
I'm not aware of how our company performs overall.
Well, I can confirm that that's true. I'm looking at it on your website. CTV News, does the CTV News division turn a profit for Bell Canada?
No, it does not. We lose $40 million a year in news.
Okay. Bell Canada makes a lot of money because it operates in a protected marketplace. Is that correct?
Again, my responsibilities are for managing the operations of CTV News. I'm not an executive at Bell Canada.
Okay, well, I can tell you that it does. It makes an awful lot of money off the backs of consumers because of government policies. In fact, I have here that Bell Canada in the last year lobbied this government over 50 times. That's more than 4 meetings with government officials a month. That's more FaceTime with senior government levels than some Liberal MPs get. And I would just like to point out that Bell would fear a government that was led by a party that believed in consumer-first types of policies and free market and pro-competition policies, and would benefit greatly from a party in power that continued the status quo, or even worse, providing, taking away more avenues for consumer choice, which would allow Bell to continue to make that kind of profit margin. Is CTV News's viewership increasing or decreasing year over year? Would the viewership this year be higher or lower than last year?
There has been a consistent erosion in viewership in broadcast media in this country for a number of years. It's falling year over year.
I wonder why, when you get caught putting things on the air that you then have to admit never actually happened. I can understand why viewership as well as trust would erode. I can give you a couple of specifics. Sorry, I only have about a minute left, so I just want to make understand one thing. Does CTV News have a diversity target?
Our goal is to reflect Canada, and the current visible minority percentage in this country, according to the 2021 census, is 26%.
Do you have a target for diversity of political viewpoints at CTV News?
It's our job, as I said earlier, to present all sides of public policy issues in a balanced, accurate, and fair way.
That doesn't answer the question. Do you have a specific policy to ensure that the editorial direction, the journalists, and the producers at CTV News reflect the Canadians' political spectrum?
It's not the job of journalists to reflect the Canadian political spectrum. It's our job to present stories in an unbiased, balanced, accurate, and fair way.
No, but you're telling me you have no way of determining whether or not the producers, the editors, and the journalists all have the same Liberal bias. You have no way to determine that.
Quick response, Mr. Gray, please.
Our team do not have a Liberal bias.
Okay.